Welcome to This Explainer. Okay, today we're tearing down a genuinely influential framework for wealth creation, straight from MJ DeMarco's groundbreaking book, The Millionaire Fastlane. If you've ever felt like the traditional, standard issue advice around money just kind of doesn't add up, or if you're looking for a really structured breakdown of how true wealth is actually built, well, you're in exactly the right place. We're going to dissect DeMarco's famous financial roadmap and figure out what literally separates those who build massive wealth in their youth from those who just wait a lifetime. I'm super excited to guide you through this, so let's jump straight into the source material. Okay, let's dive into this. I want you to really think about this question. Do you want to wait until you're 60 to be rich? Because honestly, it challenges everything we've been spoon-fed since childhood. We're constantly handed the standard script, right? Go to school, get a degree, land a safe job, work incredibly hard, and stash away every penny. The big promise is that if you invest a little bit over decades, you just might be able to retire comfortably by 60 and, enjoy whatever life you have left. But the source material asks us to pause and seriously rethink this. Do you really want to spend your absolute best, most energetic years just sacrificing for a payoff that comes when you might be in a wheelchair? There's got to be a faster way, and that's exactly what this framework uncovers.
Section 1. 3 Paths to Earning Money. Identifying your current financial roadmap.
So DeMarco points out a foundational concept here. Every single financial and career decision you make essentially places you on one of 3 distinct roads. And identifying which road you're currently walking on is the absolutely critical first step to changing your destination. Let's talk about the first 2 roads where, let's face it, the vast majority of people find themselves. First up, we have the sidewalk. People on the sidewalk blow absolutely everything they earn on short-term pleasures. They are living strictly paycheck to paycheck. If a medical emergency or an accident pops up, boom, they're instantly derailed, forced to borrow money or take out loans. And the wild part, this isn't just for low-income earners. Plenty of high-salary folks and famous celebrities walk the sidewalk, spending lavishly on expensive cars and vacations right up until they go completely bankrupt. Then there's the slow lane. This is that traditional advice we were just talking about. People here sacrifice their youth, they wait for sales to buy things, and they save diligently for decades. But the slow lane is surprisingly risky too. A market crash, a lost job, or health crisis can literally wipe out years of savings. And even if it works out perfectly, by the time you can actually enjoy the money, you're elderly, and those hard-earned savings might just be paying for hospital bills instead of funding your dreams.
And that brings us to the third path, the one that changes the whole shebang, the fast lane. This roadmap is entirely centered around creating a business. It's not taking absolute control of your life, not just your money, but your most valuable asset by far, your time. This is the exact path the author used to become a millionaire by his early 30s. But actually, let me make a really crucial distinction here that the source material emphasizes heavily. The fast lane is about getting rich quick, but it is absolutely 100% not about getting rich easy. When DeMarco launched his business, he was grinding 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. It requires intense, grueling hard work upfront to build a system that eventually sets you free.
Moving on to Section 2, Wealth is a Process, Dispelling the Get-Rich-Quick Myth. This part fundamentally shifts how we view massive financial success. We so often look at self-made millionaires and completely misunderstand how they got there. We usually fall for what's called the lottery myth. Because everyone wants to be rich immediately, society tends to view wealth as just a lucky event. People think, oh, if I just invest in Bitcoin at the exact perfect second, or if I just catch the right real estate trend or spin up a dropshipping store today, I'll be rich overnight. They treat wealth like a winning lottery ticket. But the reality is totally different. The source uses this brilliant analogy. Building a business is like constructing a house on an empty plot of land. It's a continuous, calculated process. You have to lay the bricks one by one, try new things, make adjustments, and just trust the daily grind. Your success isn't decided by one lucky lightning strike. It's the combination of all these continuous efforts finally coming together to finish the house.
Section 3. The Blueprint Breakdown. The 5 Rules of Business.
Now, what's really interesting about this next framework is how it filters the golden ideas from the terrible ones. It helps you determine if your business actually belongs in the fast lane. The author created this strict step-by-step checklist called the 5 Commandments or the Sense Framework. If you want to build a business that generates actual long-term wealth, it absolutely must meet these 5 criteria: control, entry, need, time, and scale. Let's break down exactly what each of these means and how you can apply them. All right, let's walk through this list. First up, control. You must fully own your organization, your product, and its pricing. If you're relying entirely on someone else's platform, you are simply not in control. Second is entry. There's got to be a high barrier to entry here. Think about it. If anyone can start your exact business in 5 minutes, the competition is going to crush you. The source uses Mark Zuckerberg as a great example. When he built Facebook, very few people knew how to code at that level, which made it incredibly difficult to replicate. Third is need. And honestly, this one is huge. The market literally doesn't care about your selfish passions. It doesn't matter if you genuinely love knitting tiny sweaters for iguanas. People only part with their money for things that solve their actual problems. You have to fill a real need. Fourth, time. You must disconnect your income from your physical working hours. If you have to be physically present to make a buck, you haven't built a business, you've just created another job for yourself. DeMarco, for instance, automated his website so it grew even while he slept. Finally, scale. You need the potential for massive reach. A local sandwich shop is naturally limited by its physical location, right? But an internet business, that can reach a worldwide audience on day one.
Section 4. The law of affection. The mathematical formula for wealth. So, the absolute crucial point is coming up right now. If you take away only one single thing from this explainer today, let it be this exact principle. To become a millionaire, you must affect millions, period. And this works through two distinct strategies: scale and magnitude. Think about scale for a second. This means reaching a massive amount of people. For example, if you sell a simple pen to 10 million people, you are leveraging massive scale. You might only make a tiny profit per unit, but the sheer, staggering volume creates massive wealth. On the flip side, we have magnitude. This is all about providing immense, high-impact value to fewer people. An example would be selling a premium 2,500 rupee product to just 50,000 people. You aren't reaching millions of customers here, but the magnitude of the value you provide to each individual is so strong that they're totally willing to pay a premium. And that builds your wealth just as powerfully.
To put that into perspective, imagine a hypothetical profit milestone of 500,000 rupees. How do you get there quickly? Well, the traditional slow lane method relies on your hourly wage and just crossing your fingers for a raise. But when you apply the fast lane mathematics, hitting this 500,000 or even exponentially higher numbers, like generating tens of millions from selling massive quantities of pens at a tiny 5 rupee profit, becomes a totally achievable equation. By manipulating scale and magnitude, the ceiling on your earning potential literally disappears. Which boils down to this core mathematical formula for the fast lane. Net profit equals scale multiplied by magnitude. It's really that straightforward, guys. If you want to generate true, lasting wealth, you simply cannot rely on an hourly wage. You absolutely must build a system where you can drastically increase the number of units sold, that's your scale, or drastically increase the profit per unit by providing exceptional value, that's your magnitude. Focusing obsessively on increasing one or both of these factors is the genuine secret to explosive financial growth. So I'll leave you with this final, provocative thought today. Are you actively building a system that can affect millions of people, or are you still stuck sacrificing your present, slowly saving your pennies in the slow lane? MJ DeMarco's framework proves that wealth isn't just some lucky lottery ticket. It's a meticulously constructed process of solving real needs on a massive scale. I highly recommend taking a hard look at your own daily actions and running them through the sense framework we talked about today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for this explainer. Keep questioning that traditional roadmap, and I'll see you in the next one.